Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today, something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about knives in just a second. I will do an unboxing, a quick wristwatch check. You've probably noticed it. Yes, I'm wearing a Royal Oak, which I'm currently reviewing. So I'm just enjoying it, gathering my thoughts, etc., etc. So stay tuned for that. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about this Spyderco Harpy. So this is the C08S, and it's completely changed my perception about knives. I think it's actually the most underrated Spyderco. I have a few, but and I'll get into precisely why in just a moment. But essentially, if I open it up, you'll see it has this very unusual hawk bill, sometimes described blade. To me, it looks like a talon or a claw. And I was a little bit kind of trepidatious about having this particular shape of blade. My usual go-to every day has been the grippy. I absolutely adore this knife. Nice and light, beautifully built, very ergonomic. I've talked about it at great length, the griptilian there, or grippy, and you would have seen a lot of the old leaky here in plenty of the unboxings, the Ken Onion design. And then, of course, there's for more formal occasions, I have my Layol, which is a very traditional French knife, and another. I think they're French, and you'll hear the Philadelphia Police Department joining me as always. The Dijou, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. That has been custom made there. The Urban Gentry, beautiful gift. Shout out to Steel Arts, wonderful channel. Anyway, so that's very cool, very modern, but I don't really carry that every day. So I was rereading Hannibal, and Hannibal's quite an important book and film for me because it actually inspired me to go to Florence. I know, a little bit macabre, but there you go. When the film came out, I was in the middle of deciding where to go to college. The choices were Rome, where half of my family is, and Florence was the other choice. And of course, when I saw the art and the beautiful architecture in the movie, I was like, yeah, you know what, Florence. In rereading the book, I noticed, if we just open to here, the character of Dr. Lecter, he orders a Harpy and a straight serrated Spyderco. He even names the brand with a 4-inch blade, so he's at a knife convention. And he orders the civilian version, which I'm pretty sure this is. So I was intrigued, and I did notice he used it as an offensive, not defensive, an offensive weapon in the movie. However, in the movie, he uses one with a black handle, which I'm not sure which particular version that is, but you can clearly see it's a harpy or a hawkbill type blade profile. Now, Thomas Harris is an amazing writer. He has an incredible attention to detail, incredible knowledge when it comes to cuisine, culture, art, everything from wine. I mean, if you've ever watched the TV show, I think the TV show does an amazing job of elevating Hannibal as a kind of extremely well-rounded, cultured intellectual. So somebody as educated as that, why would they choose? I mean, everything is very deliberately chosen by the character. I mean, we have somebody that's, I've seen lectures describing him as a kind of Zarathustrian Superman. It's impossible somebody that clever and blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously a complete psychopath, but anyway, we're getting off topic. Why did he choose this knife? So I was intrigued, and I thought, well, the only real way of understanding is to order it. And I did I actually filmed the unboxing. I didn't share it. It just comes like this. But you know what? It wasn't very interesting. What is more interesting is after experiencing this knife, which is not perfect, but I've got to say, I'm absolutely loving it. So the Harpy, I soon learned that Spyderco was actually, this particular Harpy was the first knife to integrate the dynamics of the hawkbill blade there with the special spider edge that we see here. So the Spyderco's two-step serration consists of like a larger serrations and then two smaller. I like serrated edges. Some people don't, but I really do. I think they're very useful for cutting if you do unboxings or just everyday little tasks as a tool. I find it very useful. Secondly, it's completely made out of VG10 stainless steel, which is a very particular steel made in Japan, incidentally. In fact, this knife is, if I turn it over there, you can see it's made in Sekiseki, Japan. The Japanese actually specialize in this steel because, and they produce it because they use it for their chef's knives. It is actually a special steel which contains, I think, 12.5% chromium, making it very resistant to corrosion, which is interesting. I believe it's more expensive, but the Harpy knife is interesting because a lot of people mistakenly think it's a defensive knife. It's not. Its roots really lie in the Navy, actually, as used by sailors to cut rope, and in fact that's why it's hollow, has a skeletonized handle there. They'd actually thread rope through. It's designed for a pulling cut, so very specific for rope. However, for every day, it really is very useful. I love the design. There are some complaints. I don't understand why the clip is this way up. I've got to get the special Allen key to reverse it. Which is a bit annoying because if you see there, it's a very particular kind of hexagonal. I don't have that Allen key. That's the only thing annoying, and it is rather heavy. It's about 104 grams compared to the Grippy. The Grippy's about 80, so Leaky is only, I think, about 70, 74 or something like that, and this is very, very slim, so it's quite substantial. And also the actual opening the knife, you can do it with one hand. It's a bit stiff. Sorry, I've got gloves on. I've got gloves on because it is a bit of a smudge magnet. You have these incredible beveling. So I just move that out of the way because I think it's focusing on his face. Bit like the beveling on a bridge, you know, and this incredible brushed finish. The blade length is about just shy of 3 inches. I think it's 2.75. The total length when deployed is 6.6. And then closed, and this is my only bone of contention, is closing the knife. You really need two hands. It has a very firm locking mechanism, and the position of this is I would have preferred it a bit closer to the top. So it's quite short at 3.8. But again, we'll see with the unboxing in just a moment how wonderful it is to use. And to think that I was skeptical, but yeah, it's beautifully made. Really, I mean, the quality of the construction is impeccable. Relatively simple, but an effective locking mechanism. Razor sharp. It's nice because it's not, the blade isn't too big, so you're not going to get into trouble. I mean, do you see that? It's actually not as wide as my hand. I do have quite large hands, skinny wrists, large hands. I don't know what that's all about. And as you can see, it still looks absolutely pristine. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there. I will add this to my Amazon store. It's priced at about $100, which I think is quite reasonable. I don't buy knives that often, maybe once a year. I'm very happy with these are only some of my knives, actually. I am due to do a knife collection. I just, you know, I'm into watches religiously. Like, I love learning about them, love reading about them. But a knife, you know, I do consider it an absolute essential. I can't leave home without some kind of cutting instrument, either a little Victorinox or, you know, something, or one of my EDCs. But yeah, this is going to be my EDC for a while to come. Really enjoying this. Anyway, let's get the knives out of the way and put old Hannibal over there. You see how easy it just easily rips in there, just cuts through things beautifully. And the serration is super sharp. And normally I'd order my Seikos from Market, Long Island Watches. Totally different box. Okay, that's cool. It's almost like Braille. So here we are. I ordered this from Hong Kong. It was about $100 cheaper than Market Long Island watches. Sorry, Mark. Sorry, Mark. I just hope it is what it's supposed to be. Otherwise, this video is going to be a disaster. But yeah, let's open it up. Drum roll. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Well, my immediate impression is... Okay, it's not as small as I thought it was going to be. So this is the mini turtle. Oh, wow. That blue is really nice. It was a lot brighter in pictures, but it's more subdued. It's got a magnifier Cyclops. I thought the magnifier was going to be on the inside, a bit like, you know, how Panerai do theirs, but it's actually on the outside. That crown does protrude quite a lot. Wow, look at this case. Beautiful shapes, look at that. Beautiful curves. Look, it's like a car. Stunning. I've never actually owned a turtle, so this is going to be interesting. Really loving that blue. It's going already. Ah, we get the Hokusai wave there. Let me just move the light. Let's get better light. Ah, it's the 4R36. Okay, it says 4R36 there. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah. So we're going to have hacking, all the modern stuff. That's great. Let's just unscrew the crown. Yeah. Yeah, it's hackable. That's good. Let's see how quick the date changes. Very solid feeling crown. I'm happy about that. Yeah. Ah, look how... Ah, so that's how it's done. Right, let's see how quick the date cycle. Not too bad. Actually, that's not too bad. For a Seiko movement, that's not too bad. I mean, I've had this movement before, obviously, but, you know, you forget how it behaves. Really good action on that screw down. I'm quite impressed with that. Let's try the bezel. It's a bit tight, but certainly better than a what's it? An SKX. In fact, actually, that's why I've kind of put this off. This came out in 2018. Originally, it was reissued, I think, in 2016 with the full size, although from my understanding, it's only a millimeter smaller, but it has different lugs. The reissue obviously was of the famous 6309 from 1977, which actually was very much based on the 6105. That's kind of been made famous by Martin Sheen, who wore it in Apocalypse Now, of course. It has that lineage in it, which is quite important for Seiko, so now it's part of the Prospex professional line. Well, let's pop it on the wrist and see... Actually, I'm just going to cut that tag off. You're going to see the Harpy in action with that lovely pulling cut. Wow, that was easy. So there we go. Wow, that really fits well. So I got a 6 1/4 inch wrist. In fact, actually, the strap is pretty good too. It's not bad quality. I like the buckle. It's got a beveling on the keeper there. It's actually got plastic. I'll take that off. Guys, this is only an unboxing, my first initial impressions. Stay tuned for a full review. I'm not really a fan of the Cyclops, but it does do its job fairly well. Good orientation, I suspect, with those very distinctive markers. The matte of the dial, it makes it look kind of darker towards the edge. Love that. Love that. I'm going to give it a few weeks, wear it, get to know it. What's delayed me reviewing it is my SKX. There you go. So this is the 013, the mid-size, if you will. Almost the same width there. That's kind of interesting. The quality, I got to say, is vastly superior than I had anticipated. Shame there's no signed crown. But yeah, lovely applied markers as well. I just want to quickly show you how good that loom is. If I bring it in real close, wow. Wow, that's crazy. Just from the light box, you know? Gotta love that Seiko. Look at the V at the top. Very, very cool. And the hands. My God, that is good loom. Massive lollipop seconds. I can't get over that loom just from being in the light box. Anyway, short and sweet video today. Stay tuned for the full review of this. I just thought I'd share with you 2 new fantastic bits of kit that I'm really, well, this I've got to get to know. This I'm absolutely loving. But anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, found it useful, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao. Now, before I go, guys, I just want to quickly tell you about this extremely cool app that Watchbox have launched. This is my own personal go-to app for everything watch related. Using the app, you can keep track of the real-time value of your watch collection. You can store watches in your digital watch box and even try on watches using an augmented reality. So don't miss out, and please go to the App Store and download it today. You can access all of my latest videos right there in the app itself. And if you haven't already, please follow me on the official Urban Gentry Instagram and of course the Facebook UGWC. But most importantly of all, keep it positive, onwards and upwards.